Peace. It's kind of a little bit of a dreary day. Um, I apologize for let me fix my bro. I apologize for the noise in advance, but it is hot right now. I'm not in the most cheery spirit, but I know I promised this video. I did a poll, and I know there was a couple of people who didn't want to see this video. However, I wanted to do this video for those of you who did want to see it. And also, I wanted to do it to challenge myself because, I mean, it's not a taboo topic really, but it's not something that Rosie, would really do. Hold on. Is that gonna work? No, it's not. I'm messing up how this is. Okay. I wanted to put tape not to be distracted, but I just realized I don't have that tape here. So let's get started. Howdy. So I don't exactly have a template for how to do this. So we're gonna wing it. Um, I guess we could start with like pain relief and things before that happens. Yeah, we could start there. So if I sound shaky, I know what the hell I'm talking about as far as me. Okay, first, I don't have all natural things because it's a lot of the things that I've been wanting to try are hard to get, and sometimes I do buy things for convenience. So I want to say that's perfectly fine if you do whatever you do use is at your discretion. Okay, I'm just sharing what I do. Okay. So first, around that time, especially the week before, I like to take probiotics. Just because I get a lot of, whoa, I get a lot of bloating and like dis-ease stomach wise. So it's like just to keep everything going. See, I wanted to charge and do this, but that's not gonna work apparently. Am I still on? Okay. Just to keep everything going, to reduce the bloat, and I mean it's good for all year, all the time. So yeah, I take the gummies because me and pills aren't the greatest friends, but I do find that this one works really good, and it's the Up 4 probiotic. Okay. If you don't want to take any kind of gummy or pill, you can look for the probiotic yogurts, Greek yogurt, things of that sort. So that's that. Now, as far as pain stuff, if I have to, I'll take Advil, Aleve, all that other stuff. However, I try not to make it a giant habit, especially since I already deal with back pain. So that's something I might use, around that time. So I don't want it to be like I'm always on Advil because that's not good for your liver. Um, Also, as a side note, I have the prescription naproxen. Don't take that during your monthly. I feel like it makes it heavier. Um, I noticed that. So that's just a side note. But I do like the Boreon products. So this particular is Arnicare, and this is the roll-on gel, and this I use on my stomach, or if you also have, I have back pain all the time, but if you have back pain during that particular time, it will be good for that as well. And this is more of like a homeopathic type product. And I brought this one out, but this is not the one I use during my cycle. This would be good at any other time. This is the one for joints. But the Boreon product, particularly for your cycle, is called Cycles. However, I can't find it anymore. So there's that. Now, as far as like snacks and things, I'm kind of bored with this one, but I wanted to show you the brand and just to keep everything being like, it depends on what you're craving, but to keep things on the lesser carb segment, I do try the Atkins Indulge. So I use it because it has less carbs, not because of any particular dietary reason. This one happens to be a brownie. You don't find, at least in my stores, not my stores, but the stores around me, you don't find much variety as far as this particular um, subset, I'll say. So look on Amazon, Atkins Indulge, and you'll find all different kinds of ones. Make sure that you compare prices though, because some people are charging ridiculous. So if you can get it through Amazon specifically, then do that. Also, as far as sweet things, Slim Fast has a, I don't know if I put it on my Instagram, but there's a cinnamon roll crisp that's really good. Give that a try if you like the sweet crunchy kind of feel. Um as far as other snacks, I kind of go with the flow, really. My sweets thing can be a little bit much personally, so I try to look for the lower carb, lower like sugars type of things just to keep it on the safe side. Okay, washes and things. Okay, now if we're dealing with like odor, whether it's during or after, especially after, I go with the whole old school thing. And I don't use this every month. I don't believe in douching. But if you want to use the old fashioned vinegar, I would say 1 part vinegar, 2 parts water, and just rinse that area with it. I would say maybe, it depends on the intensity, of course, but I would say for 3 days, do it that way. Um, and that'll naturally get rid of odor. For you, if it's for anyone, if it's like a consistent thing. Now, see, there's a difference if it's happening right after, because that's natural. But if it's happening all the time, then you'd need a gynecologist, of course. But for after the cycle, that would be what I do whenever that happens. Okay, as far as my like consistently used wash, that would be this one right now, the Sweet Spot Labs. And there's an original, I believe, but I like the Vanilla Blossom. I haven't had a problem with it as far as irritation or anything of the sort. I forget which one I was using before. I was using one from Whole Foods. This you can get in Target. It's not cheap. I'll let you know that first and foremost. um, I don't remember what it was called. Also, a lot of the products I've been wanting to try is on Ashley's Natural website. Um, so if you want like a more holistic approach, I tried that site. The problem why I haven't, because me, I'm the type of person, if I'm gonna stock up and like have my full array of supplies on deck, I don't want to have to buy little. I want to like buy everything at once. Okay, I have this. But it's like for a lot of small batch type companies, that's the problem I see a lot of the times. I used to make a lot of things by hand, but kind of off with that right now. So that's washes. Now, I don't know if anybody has this problem. It could be like a really big chick problem. But just to keep like your bathroom area clean, especially if you sat on the seat or whatever, um, I do spray like the seat with the alcohol and wipe it off just for, courtesy wipe for everybody else. Keep it fresh, keep it clean. Okay. Now here's where the controversial products come in. Like I said, Ashley's Naturals does have a powder, so if you want to go that route, that's cool. Um, all that moisture and stuff is just not for me. So I have the Vagisil powder that I put on my inner thighs because they rub, and then all that else that's going there doesn't, just no. So this is the powder. I saw a good price for this on Amazon. I ended up getting three. I think it's like two. I don't know if it still is, but when I got it, it was $2.90 something. And in the store, it's usually close to $4. So just an FYI. I sound like I'm being sponsored by Amazon, but I'm really not. I wish. Okay. Now I bought these two. Honestly, I always, well, not always, recently been using the Summer Eve one, but I really don't like this scent. But I wanted to show you it is an option. This is the newer one that I got, and this is Vagisil Sensitive, which it means just light scent for us sensitive folks. And this says dry wash. Now, on it says you can put it up your your thing. But yeah, I don't do that. I don't spray scents there. What I use this for, because I'm anemic, so the blood scent is stronger, regardless of if you're washing extra, whatever. Okay, how do I display this? This is your panty, right? This is the part that's going on your skin. I put it under. I don't put this on my skin, just so you know. Anyway, this one's the White Jasmine, and I got this month so far. I do like this one. So, I don't like this too much, but you may like a scent that I don't, so just thought I'd show you. Now, wipes. This is just one I got recently, so I'm not really advocating for this company. I actually don't have a good history with this company. Just on a customer service basis, nothing personal. But I saw this in Target, so it's just wipes. This is the Honey Pot Sensitive Wipe. It's okay, but the principle I want to discuss. Just of like a regular, during that time, just a regular wipe of toilet paper is not gonna do nothing for me. So I do use some kind of wet wipe. The one, it is in Walgreens. I think it's called New Beginnings. I prefer that one. It's probably for babies, but it really doesn't matter, honestly. So that would be the one that I'd go for. Now we're going to talk about, lastly, pads, tampons, etc. Now here's the thing. You're going to have to experiment. And even if you're old, like me, well, I'm not too old, but if we're talking about like still having your cycle old, then yeah. You might still want to experiment because new things come out all the time. I think it wasn't until I was in like late 20s, early 30s that I even wore tampons because I don't know, growing up is like they made it seem like it was a fresh girl kind of thing. Like why you want something up your thing if you're not take man type of thing. So it's just never something that I really got into. Good brands for the whole Cora, what am I saying? Good brands for the whole sanitary napkin tampon thing. I would say Cora, seventh generation. There's new brands all the time. Cora is really the pads that I would use more often, but for me, that particular one I have to double up. And by double up, okay, I'm gonna use the Sharpies as an example. I don't mean this, because doubling up like this is bulky and wouldn't do anything for me anyway. If you're having to double up like this, you're using the wrong brand or type. I'm talking about this for coverage. Putting it like that so that it goes from front to back. So the only one that I found that does that without me having to... See, the dilemma is this is the perfect length, but it's not natural. I prefer the more natural ones because I find like for some reason it could just be in my head, but I feel like it has something to it. You don't feel as much pain, not like much pain in your cycle. I'm not talking about pain as far as the actual product because that shouldn't happen at all. If you're irritated or anything like that, definitely switch to natural products or try a different brand. Um, it's said that it is said that you absorb what it is that you put on or put in your skin or on your skin, etc. So I feel like that has a lot to do with it. So that's why, once I was trying more natural things, I felt like everything was going more smoothly in that arena. But for right now, um, this is the type that I use pretty much for the whole cycle. Pretty much. So this is the Kotex All Nighter, and I feel like this one has great coverage. Now, if you're smaller, you might not need all that coverage, and you're like, girl, what the heck are you doing with that type of length all the time? I feel you. Everything for different people. So different things for different people. But I'm going to just open one. Well, not the whole thing. But I'm going to show you the length. So this gives full coverage. Alright. So if anybody has that problem, just letting you know. Now as I've gotten older, what I don't like about pads, maybe it's because I have insomnia and I sleep awful, or just altogether, like, what I don't like about it is, you're tossing and turning, gotta adjust yourself, um, having the full slide of blood. As years go on, I'm still not used to it. It still grosses me out. I know, honor your motherly temple and all that, but that's one of the things I don't like. And I just feel like with that there, it just gives extra moisture. It just bothers me. But for convenience, and sometimes you just want that security, then that's what it is, and that's what I use most times. Now, sleeping, I prefer a tampon. I can move every which way. Um, the catch with that is you have to make sure you have the right absorbency. And even with the right absorbency, you have to experiment to find the right company. Because when I was using the Cora one, I have leaked before. But I have never had that experience with the 7th generation one. This one is a super, and I guess it just fits. Now, if you want to use it during the lighter times, then maybe try Cora. I don't know. Could just be a wrong fit for me personally. But like I didn't have a problem with it otherwise. It just wasn't the right fit. But yeah, the super is definitely super. I'm not sure if this one is the one that has the super plus or not. Around me, the reason I use this for lighter days is around me I can't find the light one. But yeah. So, I feel like it's great for like at the beginning and at the end. In the middle is where it gets muddy. Or where you can get paranoid. Like, do I need to go? Do I need to not go? But yeah, I think, because I had stuff over here. I think I've covered everything as far as like what I do, etc. Um, I mean, as far as everything else, stretching is definitely necessary. Everything gets all cramped and muddled. Um, I try not to lift anything heavy during that time, but if you're someone that has to do everything by yourself, then sometimes you don't have a choice. But yeah, gentleness and reserve is, when applicable, can be the best thing. Hopefully, I am not missing anything. I tried to bring everything in front of me to remember. Um, yeah. Oh, also, that's usually when I have the most beef. Not an everyday thing, but more of a concentration in the month. And, I try to have more greens around then as well. I mean, I feel like that's something every woman should do. As far the beef part's your personal choice, but greens, yes, just for the iron. But I try to incorporate more of the beef around then for that as well. Um, since I am anemic, as I said before. Okay, well, I hope this was informative or interesting or something. Let me know with either a thumbs up or a comment. And I thank y'all for watching.